The aviation industry has made tremendous strides over the past century. If you think about it, we've come from learning to fly fast, to learning to fly big aircraft, to space. We've improved tremendously with technology. We're capturing data every day from every flight that goes. There's more than 400 flights an hour, commercial aircraft that are flying. It requires tremendous amounts of data, and that data is being captured. We know what's going on within the aviation regarding the aircraft, and the aviation safety has never been safer than what it is right now. There are problems with air traffic control, and the systems they have not kept up with the pace of the technology that the airlines have had, but I do believe that they will be coming along. The biggest potential for serious injury and fatalities within the aviation is not within the aircraft itself. It's on the ground. It's the people who expose themselves every day to working at heights, working around large equipment, and the people that come into those positions, this may be the first time they've ever been around an airplane, and training needs to be paramount for that. We need to identify the hazards that are specific to each location, to each gate, to time of day. I don't think that we do a good job of doing that within the aviation industry. When you look at safety within aviation, the last decade has been just phenomenal in regards to passenger safety. But when you look at aviation safety on the ground, below the wing, where the people who come to work every day to help those aircraft get out on time, that is where the biggest exposure is, and that is where people are suffering injury. It could be minor, but many times it is a serious injury or fatality, and we need to pay attention to that. If I were going to offer some advice about where to look, I would start with leadership. Leadership needs to understand the vocabulary of the hazards that they have within their particular domain, whether it's cargo, ground operations, fueling, maintenance, and be explicit about those hazards and be comfortable about communicating those hazards to the people that they lead. They need to create an environment where people are willing to approach each other about the hazards and correct those hazards and mitigate them down to the point that they either don't exist or cease to become a factor. I don't think that that's done as well as it should be. Going back to leadership, I think leaders need to be comfortable asking questions of the people they lead, and you can distill it down to 3 simple questions. Tell me what's dumb around here. And the very fact that you're asking that as a leader lets the people that you're asking know that you understand that things aren't perfect, and you should ask the question and be prepared to write. The second question you should ask is, tell me what's difficult. By difficult, I mean you've hired them to do a job, you've set out all the protocols and procedures for the job, and you want to understand what the friction is in allowing them to do the job. And you need to remove that friction so they're not doing workarounds. And the last question that you should ask, and you should ask yourself every day, is tell me what's different. Because today is not the same as yesterday, or last week, or last year. The people that you work with may have something on their mind that you need to be aware of. There may be a broken piece of equipment that you might not otherwise have spotted. There may be an off-schedule operation that you're trying to get back onto a scheduled service. And when you start asking yourself what's different, you'll start looking for those things that could cause harm.